A boxing legend will be in Nonito Donaire Jr.'s corner when he takes on Northern Ireland's defending WBA bantamweight champion Ryan Burnett in a World Boxing Super Series scheduled 12-round fight leading to unify the 118-pound title at the SSE Hurdo in Glasgow, Scotland, tonight, tomorrow morning, Manila time. Kenny Adams, 78, agreed to work with Donaire 3 weeks back when original trainer Brandon Woods pulled out due to a personal emergency. Adams has trained 26 world champions and 34 Olympians in a coaching career that began during his 30-year stint with the U.S. Army. He was assistant coach of the U.S. 1984 Olympic team and head coach of the 1988 squad that featured Roy Jones Jr., Ray Mercer and Riddick Bowe. Among the fighters he's trained were Evander Holyfield, Pernell Whitaker, Edwin Valero, Diego Corrales, Jorge Linares, Corey Spinks, Meldrick Taylor and Michael Carbajal. He introduced strength programs to boxing in 1973, learning from East German athletes while stationed in Europe as a U.S. Master Sergeant. Known as a strict disciplinarian with a championship tradition, Adams once had a streak of winning 22 straight world title fights as a coach and cornerman. "I'm a hardcore guy, I don't play games," said Adams, quoted by writer Marty Mishow. "I'm no yes man. It's my way or the highway. I don't take anything from anybody. I just don't mess with anybody. I only deal with the fighters I think have potential, who can become world champions." Adams said Manny Pacquiao reached out to him in 2005 but turned down the offer to join his training camp. "I had an opportunity to train Manny, but I couldn't because my wife had gotten sick at that particular time," he said. "He wanted me to train in Los Angeles and I couldn't leave home in Las Vegas." Now, 13 years later, Adams will be in the corner of the Filipino Flash who's out to become the world undisputed bantamweight ruler. A win over Burnett will advance Donaire to a duel with WBO title holders Alani Teed of South Africa in the semi-finals of the Super Series. Donaire said he began training with Woods last July. "Brandon's a very smart, very strategic trainer," he said. "We worked every day pretty much. He was under Kenny's tutelage for years, so he really took to the mentality, game strategy and training. Then, Brandon had a personal emergency to deal with. We tried to wait it out to see if Brandon could join us in Glasgow, but you know, both of us are not selfish people." Brandon discussed with Kenny, whom he knew would have the same strategies if he'd be willing to step in. Donaire said Adams has fit in smoothly with the team. "Kenny had been with our camp throughout because one of my sparring partners was his fighter," continued Donaire. "So he knew what we were working on. Still, Brandon never imposed his decision. Rather, Kenny stepped in during sparring, and I got what he said. I respected it, so we decided, as a team, to move forward. Burnett, who's nearly 10 years younger than Donaire, is a former World Youth Championships and Youth Olympics gold medalist. He compiled a 94-4 amateur record and one of his victims was Filipino Mark Anthony Barriga, who lost a 6-4 decision in the quarterfinals of the World Youth Championships in Baku in 2010. Burnett began his pro career in 2012, trained by Ricky Hatton. 2 years later, he hooked up with trainer Adam Booth, called the Dark Lord for his outspokenness. Booth used to be former heavyweight champion David Hayes' trainer and singer Kylie Minogue's health consultant. Before turning pro, Burnett was diagnosed with a blockage on the right side of his brain, and his attending neurologist said he could never fight again.